Yeah, functions, right?
Yes.
I hope you see my screen.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is function? Can you tell me? Or what is a arrow function more precisely? What is the arrow function?
Um,
Arrow function?
Initial, yeah, we can say we can write the function definition
Mm-hmm.
itself at the time of declaring the variable of function.
Okay. So when you talk about the arrow functions, when you talk about
It is, yeah.
yeah, when you talk about arrow function, it is the another way of representing function. So this is the traditional way of representing function.
Yeah.
This is the anonymous function, and ES6 says that you can define function in this way. This is the function declaration,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
And here is the definition of the function. Okay, then yesterday we have seen union types. This is the union type.
Yes.
And then here, if you see, alias, function alias. Function alias. Sorry, this is called as type alias. Means for this type, you just have given this name. For this type, this kind of type, you have given this name. Correct? That's what the type alias we have seen. So if you see in the function 5, we have used something like this. And in the function 7, instead of using all these things, we have used this name.
Right. So here, the type lies, like here we consider the that much part in the special FN, right, till the boolean. Okay.
Here,
So
from here to here.
right. So it is not like that we can create any kind of alias, including the other function definition as well.
No,
Like
see,
it is okay for the defining the type, right?
this is not the definition here.
Yeah, yeah,
So here you are saying, instead of writing all these things again and again,
yeah.
what I will do, I will assign this thing to one name.
Correct. I got that. But here you specified with keyword type.
That
So
is the special keyword in the TypeScript.
correct, correct. So I need to specify only the type part.
Type, correct. And this
For
can be
the
anything.
alias. Yeah, that is user defined.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cleared or not?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Now, few more things related to the object we will see. Few more things related to the objects. So if I open over here, just a minute. I will come back to the functions a little bit later on. But whenever you create the object, new file, app01.ts. Now I want to define the object. So how can I define the object? Where where obj, and we have seen it's of type. Can you see I'm defining type? Key is of type string and value is of type any. Value is of type value. Value is of type any. Do you remember this syntax?
Yes.
Obj, key is of type string and value is of type any. And here you can write what's happening. Just a minute. Oh,
Brackets.
syntax error is there. Syntax error is there.
Yeah.
Obj. Oh, I'm sorry. Value you don't require this much only. So here you are saying this is the type. Remember that after colon you write type. So here you are saying inside this bracket key is of type string and value is of type any. Now instead of writing this again, we can create type and my obj is equals to this thing. We can write something like this, and instead of writing this here, we can say my obj. And here we can say key speed value 10 and color we can say red. You understand this or not?
Yes.
So instead of writing my obj, you can write straight away this thing here. Correct?
Right.
But as we have seen yesterday something, that we can define the type. So here I can say obj2 and I will write obj1 also, traditional way of writing obj. Obj1 is equals to, instead of writing this type, here I can say this big thing. Okay, is of type this thing, and this is the value. Now third thing we would be using frequently. Third thing we would be using frequently to define the object is something like this: interface, and here I can say point, interface point. X is of type number and Y also is of type number. Now I can say where obj3 is equals to, is of type point, is of type what? Point. Now see there is an error, and here I can say x colon 10 y colon 20. So three ways of defining object. So this is a plain old JavaScript way. This is a plain old JavaScript way. So here you say that this is the obj1, and then you define the type, and this is the actual value. You getting my point or not? Hello?
Yes. 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 I'm getting.
So this is the type alias. What is the type alias? Instead of writing this thing again and again, right? You just name this type as my obj,
Yes.
right? My obj, and you assign the type annotation over here, and then you create the object where obj2 is of type my obj, and then this thing. Then interface point x colon is of type number, y colon is of type number, and then here you can say something like this.
So what is interface?
Yeah. So right now you can understand the interface. It is just a way of defining the object. Now there are some differences. So here you do obj1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will go to another file, app02.ts. So this is what object looks like in, there are a few more ways, but let's discuss these many things. So here I will write plain old way, old way. So this is, yeah.
Yeah, here earlier we use object
Uh-huh.
directly also. I mean, you can directly specify like directly values like let obj something
Mm-hmm.
name and age is equal to 30 and
Correct.
name is equal to abc. So here this key string or any
Okay, just
is
a minute.
not
I
compulsory.
got it. I got it. So you mean to say where obj is equals to, right?
Hmm.
And directly this thing you are asking me to write, correct?
Correct.
But remember that this is a JS way. If you again hover over here, it will define the type on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Java's TypeScript defines the type on its own. So this is coming from JavaScript. There is no doubt on this. It will work as it is,
Mm-hmm.
right? But sometimes in the TypeScript you need to restrict. You'll get to know this thing. You will restrict keys and values also. So presently I have written any, but I can say number also here. Can you see now here you are getting error?
Right.
But here that is not the case. You cannot restrict the keys and values,
Mm-hmm.
type of keys and values. But here you restrict the type of keys and values also. That restriction is not available over here. You getting my point? So here I can say plain old ts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is by using obj by using type alias. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is obj by using interfaces. Now we will discuss all these things in detail. Okay. So let's get this thing in app02 and let's try to work on this. Now here I want to access this speed. So how can I access? obj1 of speed. So here I can say console.log obj1 of speed. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Speed is this obj1 of speed. Let's make obj, plain obj.
You can use obj one dot
Huh.
interface.
Yes, that I'm going to write next. Obj dot speed. That is also okay.
Mm-hmm.
First way of access, you can access in this way. You can access in this way. That is correct. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do, obj, I want to assign some values. So again, you can use something like this. Speed is equals to 10, right? And see now problem, obj dot speed is equals to hello. Can you see problem here? Here you can change the type. So here but I print, let's print console.log obj, sorry, obj. Let's print console.log obj, and after this also let's print console.log obj. Okay, now cd cd day 09 tsc app02.ts and node app02.js. Can you see here? What is expected? Speed to be what? Number. Correct? Speed to be what? Number. But something is happening over here, and that speed is becoming string over here. Problem. How do you solve this? How do you restrict? So either you use type alias over here, right? Or problem would be same. So let's create a new file. Let's create a new file, app03.js, plain old. Let's get this thing. Still problem will remain same. There won't be any change in the our problem that we are getting, right? So if you go here, so these things will give you same thing, because okay, I will write it again. Now let me access this obj dot speed is equals to 20. Now console.log obj, and here obj.speed is hello. So this won't be changing. So this problem will remain as it is. You got my concern, right? With this type, just you have changed the type annotation from declaring over here to this line, so that you can reuse it. Correct? Else everything is same. There is no concern. So if I go over here, tsc app03.ts. Oh, I'm writing in a JS file. Just rename it to the ts. Okay, app03.ts. So it would be compiled to the JS now. And now node app03.js. Can you see speed is getting changed to the string? That is the problem. Speed is getting changed to the string. That is the problem. Which means that type alias doesn't do anything special with the object keys and values restriction. So what type alias does? It removes this declaration from here, and it gives you a specified or a specific way or more reusable way, so that this my obj can be used anywhere. Right? Now let's create a fourth file, app04.ts, and into this app04.ts I will copy this and paste it. Okay, now see what happens. Just make obj, and here obj.x is equals to 34. Okay, and obj.x again is equals to hello. Now let's try to what's happening? Let's try to run it. Yeah, let's try to run it. tsc app04.ts. Now see here, compiler is giving error. Type string is not assignable to type number. Can you see here?
Yes.
So this was not happening in earlier two cases. Means one more thing, let's go to the type 3 here, and here I can say I will add one more property from here, obj dot Here I can say obj dot lights, 3 lights. Okay. Now tsc app03.ts and node app03.js. Node what? app03.ts. Okay, we didn't print the obj actually. Let's print this obj again. app03.ts node app03.js. Can you see here? So this is the default object.
Mm-hmm.
It is expected to have only 2 keys over here, right? In this
Mm-hmm.
object, it is expected to have only what? 2 keys. But this definition have added, or this line have added a new key, lights, to the obj. This is again problem. What I wanted to restrict the object. If you don't want to restrict object, then this is okay, adding additional keys is okay. But in certain cases, so inside this, consider this case, I want this object to contain only x and y, and x should be number, y should be number. I want this object to contain only 2 keys x and y, and the type also shouldn't change. Type x should be number, type y should be number. So one we have seen, you cannot change the type, right? This is confirmed. Now let's try to add obj.z is equals to 90. Can you see again, if I run this 04.ts, can you see a field error? Property z does not exist on the point. Point means this guy, which means that the interface provides more restrictions on the object and its types.
Mm-hmm.
That restriction is not here on type alias or something else. You cleared it or not?
Clear. I have one question.
Yes.
Like in FTS.3, I understand that you are sending obj.speed line number 12. Hello.
Where?
Because
In which file?
it app03 left hand side.
Okay.
Line number 12.
Mm-hmm.
So here, because of type any, right?
Correct.
Because of type any, that I understand.
Correct.
It accepts hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, and it shows hello as well.
Correct.
But I don't understand about the third line number 15.
Okay.
So it is not part of the object.
Yeah.
Still you can define like that, no?
No, but where you have said that speed and color is a part of the object, if you look at this line, you didn't specify anything. You getting my point or not?
But in the definition of obj.
Yeah, no problem. You can add keys dynamically like this also. You can add, this is one way of defining the keys. In the initial position or at the initial timing of object definition, I just have only 2 keys, speed and color. But dynamically, other keys are also getting added. That is also allowed.
This is available.
Yes. So this is from, so if you see this thing comes from the JavaScript. JavaScript allows you to add these keys. Now see, again, let's, to clarify, I will create app05.js. In this way, at this time I will create a JS file. So here we can define object obj, and see, this is empty. There is nothing inside the object. See, JavaScript is a dynamic language, and at the later stages you can say speed is 10, obj dot color is red, and obj dot, here you can say obj dot lights is 3 or 2. Can you see, this is just an empty object declaration, which doesn't mean that this is a fixed. So in a JavaScript, there is no type. We don't have any type annotation over here. But I want this to be treated as an object. So what is the another option? Are you going to keep this empty like this? Or you are going to assign some empty string like this? Right? And that's why generally we keep something like this empty in the JS. And once in the later stages of your program, you go on adding the keys. And over here, you can say console.log obj. Correct? Now see, this is the JS file. You don't need a TSC over here. Correct? Because this is the plain JS file. So you can directly write node app.05. Can you see? Inside the object, you are getting these three things. So this is just an empty declaration at the beginning, and you are assigning value at the later stages. That is okay, no problem.
Please save this file as well.
Say that again.
Please save this file as well. This is the different way of creating object.
Object, yeah. So it is like this. If you see, this is a plain old way, that is the JS. So here there might be keys, there might not be keys, but generally we write the keys whatever we know at the time of object declaration only. But that can be added later on. Keys can be added later on. Okay. Now TypeScript comes into the picture, and TypeScript says that if you want more restriction on this object should contain only X, only Y, and that too X is of type number, Y is of type number. JavaScript doesn't have this feature, right? In the JavaScript, this object you can add dynamically anything. Types also can be changed anything. So after this line, obj.speed can be hello. This is the problem. And if you print console.log obj again, you'll see speed as string. Can you see? Here speed is hello, here speed is number. But JavaScript comes into the picture and says that I'm not going to allow you that also. If you want to put some more restriction on the object, right? Then you need to use which keyword? Interface. So you ask me question, what is interface? Is it clear now?
Yes. And interface is a part of TypeScript.
Correct. Which puts additional restrictions on the object keys and types. So technically you never need this thing, remember that. Technically you don't need object like this, but JavaScript is not having any provision to restrict on the object. Technically you need object with only required keys.
Correct.
Right? But JavaScript doesn't have that feature, and TypeScript gives you that feature by means of interface. Okay, I'll push this much code. You need to type the code immediately. So here we can say TypeScript interface type alias and plain old JS objects. I have pushed this code. Now I'm going slow, very slow. I can cover more concepts also.
So you want me to create all these?
Yes, or you will do it later on, you tell me.
I will do it later on.
Okay, fine, no problem. Now let's jump to the, I will create app 06.ts, rename 6.ts, and now I can create a function. First I can create interface ATM, automated teller machine. First I can create what? Interface, and that would be having balance is of type number. See here, you don't write 0. You are defining, right, what this ATM would be having, or just say account would be having balance is of type number. Before creating object, you are visualizing the type and the keys, right? And then you can say account number is of type string, and the branch is of type number, or branch is of again type string, and is active, this account is active or not, is of type boolean. Now imagine that you don't have this feature. So I have a function called as perform transaction. Perform what? Transaction. Now consider that you don't have this thing and you are in a plain JavaScript. So here you simply accept the object. Any object is of type something like this. Key, I'm writing this right now, is of type string. Key is of type string and value is of type any. Object is of type something like this. So perform transaction can accept anything. But here you can restrict it to the account type. You can restrict it to what? Account type. So whenever you call the function perform transaction, you cannot pass any arbitrary data like VVV:90 error. It will not accept this object in the first place. But imagine that in the JavaScript, you can pass any key, any value over here. If you want me to write the code, go to the app05.js. Same thing I will write, function perform, or let's create separate file, new app07.js, perform transaction. There is nothing called as this account. So in the JavaScript, it would be like this only. And whenever you are calling, it is expected to pass only these things. Balance. Here I can pass balance. Now instead of balance key, I can pass bal. That is also will work. Instead of ACNO, I can simply pass something like this. ACNO. Branch. See the problem in the JS, right? Branch, here you can pass ABC like this. Still it will work. Console.log obj. At another call, you can absolutely call with the new keys, balance 1 2 3, ACNO, only these two things, and this will work. See, this is the JS file. You don't need to convert it to JS again, it is already in the JS. Right? Can you see here? Still it is accepting both the objects. And still it is printing, which is a problem. But TypeScript says that I will not accept any keys like this. TypeScript says that you need to give me perform transaction this and console.log obj. So here I can say balance perform transaction 1 1 1. Now see, this is actually error. Can you see there is an error?
Why there was a red line for perform transaction function?
Here, right? There is why.
No. On line number 8.
Line number.
You change it to 1 now. On the right-hand side.
So if you remember, on the day first or second, I told you there is a scoping problem, right? So this perform transaction function is written in two ways. See here. So here is also perform transaction. Here is also perform transaction earlier. And that's why it is considering this perform transaction and not this perform transaction.
These are two different ones.
Correct. But Node works in little bit different way. JS works little bit in different way. So once we learn the scoping, you will understand this concept more clearly. But right now, just change the name. That's it. Okay. Just change the name over here. Or here simply take PRM TXN to avoid the confusion. Just make PRM TXN. Okay. Now look at this code. This is important. I have presented problem in the JavaScript and how TypeScript saves you from that problem. TypeScript says that if you are looking to restrict this object, now see there is an error. Perform transaction accepts which method? Perform transaction accepts which type of object? Account type of object.
That means you have to put all 4.
Yes, all 4 keys you need to pass, otherwise there is a problem. Balance 100, account number ABC123.
So here that name account number balance need to type over there, or you can directly pass the value as 100. I mean, I need to know the name of the
key. See, consider that you have not written this interface. Someone else have written this interface.
Correct, exactly.
Right? And you have called the perform transaction. So if you can see, just pass the object and see all the keys would be available here. ACNO, balance, branch, and is active.
Okay.
So those keys would be available over there.
Okay, so in that case, I need to send it with the sequence as well.
No, sequence doesn't matter. Sequence absolutely doesn't matter. So let me alter the sequence. So let me write this ACNO in the beginning, branch in the last. Absolutely fine, no problem.
But all 4?
Yeah, keys should be there. Presently all 4 keys should be there. We can make the changes as well. We can make some keys are optional.
For this interface definition,
it is mandatory. All 4 keys are mandatory. Right? So this was a quick demo on JavaScript objects and TypeScript object. So in the TypeScript, you can define, always remember one thing. Whatever you do in a JavaScript, all that things you can do in a TypeScript. It is a superset. TypeScript is what? Superset of JavaScript. Whatever you do in a JS, all those things you can do in a TS. But reverse is not true. Correct? And TypeScript is a more powerful JavaScript. If you look at the 7, this is the JavaScript, and this was the problem in the JavaScript. If you look at both the things, here you can pass anything. The function is accepting anything here. Function is accepting any type of object, which is absolutely troublemaker for the developer. Consider that you have not written this function, perform transaction. So other developers are sending any key, any values. There is no restriction on it. But TypeScript interface comes as a savior and says that no, I'm not going to allow you. This
so
is
if
yeah.
you compile this TS file app06.txt, and it will compile to JS, right? So JS don't have this interface.
Yeah, JS will not have this interface
feature. So
yeah.
How will it convert?
Yeah, see now TSC
to JS?
app 06.ts. It's now if you look at this file and this file will look similar.
It converts to the
function. Correct. There is no interface in the there are no interfaces in JavaScript. Interfaces are absolutely coming in a TypeScript. Cleared?
Yes.
Any question? So
syntax is here, like in the definition of interface account, we have the semicolon is set.
Correct. Correct. So you got a clear idea of the interface, right?
And like I cannot directly send 100 and ABX10 directly values.
No.
I need to specify the key name.
Correct. Key name as well.
Sequence is okay. Sequence is okay, but I have to add the key.
Keys. And compile editor is giving you error. Which thing you have missed? Okay.
Yeah.
So I can cover more things also, but due to we are a little bit new to the TS, I stop here. Okay. But I will cover more things after once you get familiar with the TS. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me. Yeah.
I understand everything.
Yes.
But syntaxes are a bit difficult for me to.
Correct. So once
I'm not getting enough time to practice actually. That is the main reason, I suppose.
Correct. So that's where your videos will come into the picture. So whatever session we had, that is completely recorded and I'm uploading on the YouTube. Okay, so I'll just make a public immediately. But whenever you practice, video should be in front of you. Okay, so you will watch the video, type the code. Watch the video, type the code, push the code to the Git. In this way only you will perform. Okay, so in the beginning, don't worry. But as you increase your practice, you will start understanding the things. So this is just a groundwork for the Angular. So in Angular, you will directly see interface. Directly. And that's why it is important to cover what you can say interfaces and all multiple ways, possible ways. If we miss anything and that concept appears at the time of Angular, I will again come back to the TS and I will explain those concepts and then we'll learn the Angular. Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So I will push this much code. Okay, one more thing about the interfaces I forgot. This is interface in the perspective of the object. So whenever we will learn the object oriented programming, there is another perspective also for the interfaces that we will see at that time. So this is just an object you can consider. More restricted object. This would be what? More restricted object, right?
Right. You said like this is another way of defining an
object. Correct. So we have seen multiple ways in a zero first file. You can see all those ways.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Let me push this much code. Typescript queries. So I will upload the video by tomorrow, all the videos by tomorrow. Fine then.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.